We're going to check it out and see what goes down.
Welcome back to Summoner's Rift. Let's see what can go down as G2 Esports have their backs against the wall. Lose this game, you drop to the semi-final next Saturday and wait for Rogue or Mad Lions. Win and push us to Game 5.
All right, so Kassadin. Kassadin versus LeBlanc. Often around level 11, and once Kassadin has the 2 items completed, you don't need the Seraphs fully upgraded, you just need to have it combined with something like a Rod of Ages. We'll see what itemization he goes for. Sometimes you rush the Lichbane, but point is that around level 11, level 13, that's when Kassadin can hold his own against LeBlanc. Until then, it is just the LeBlanc show.
And can I just say, Caps has invested in the dark technology, and I am such a fan. He's starting with the Cull in the mid lane. This might look crazy, but Kassadin gets a lot of natural magic resistance, so LeBlanc actually wants to trade with her auto attacks a ton in the lane. Cull is going to allow her to do that and capitalize on that, and of course, give that 180 gold bonus when she cashes that in later.
So we may be happy with the decisions to interact with Boris from Caps today. Do have a very brief question that I want to bring up. I have been wanting to bring up a little bit, and considering it's a last pick Kassadin, taking a look at Nemesis, his regular season performance to his playoff performance. We said it in an earlier game, Nemesis is not necessarily the central figure, the central carry for Fnatic. You're looking at other players, but we have seen him stepping up his game, and we've seen some mixed performances, shall we say, this series. But definitely if you take last weekend in consideration, improvement and growth for the mid lane and for Fnatic.
I mean, Nemesis is all reliable, right? Like, you can often rely on him to not really ever die in a 1 versus 1. He's a very difficult player to punish. He's often played mages and scaling picks, and that's what he's always been known for. And then when you get to team fights later, that's where he often offers a lot more value. But it feels like that against hang on a second.
That's a lot of damage. Bwipo's going to push Wunder away, still sitting on his flash, and Wunder's going to back away and start to regen as best he can.
So, good trade there in favor of Bwipo. Looks like Wunder going to go for a very early reset. Will he invest the teleport is my question. But to come back to Nemesis very quickly, I feel like that he as a player in playoffs has definitely stepped up. And I think that his Orianna performance last game, while he was getting bullied around a lot by Caps, and it feels like the laning phase has always been the Cap show so far in this series, Nemesis is still offering value, and he best sets up Selfmade for success, and that's ultimately what you want. But right now, when you have 0 priority, look, Jankos is just like, yes, I can do whatever I want because my mid laner is perma pushing, but Selfmade with the clever pathing actually is not going to have anything for Jankos to take.
Yeah, Selfmade has just been sort of running into, Jankos rather has been running into Selfmade's jungle. It started right after red buff. He went in, took away the Gromp camp, which is a ton of EXP. So now with the Scuttle Crab, that should be his cue to level up himself towards 3, but I mean, Selfmade already 2 camps ahead of Jankos, following a similar story to last game.
And notice in the bot lane, Perks and Mickey took the bot Scuttle Crab, which means that Selfmade isn't going to get any of that farmer XP, and this is where things start to not crumble, but, you know, he starts to fall a little bit behind, because again, junglers are very reliant on priority and pressure, and the fact that Perks and Mickey have that push in the bot side of the map, Caps has priority in mid, means that it's a lot harder for Selfmade to do whatever he would want.
Yeah, because you see Selfmade's going to waste a little bit of extra time. He doesn't know that this actually went down. I don't think his bot lane realized what actually happened. He's like, how did Jankos, he's down here, he's up, like, what actually happened? Can cause some problems if he doesn't know where the camps are, and doesn't know that his Grump is down either. So Selfmade, very sad while standing on top of Vision the entire time.
It definitely feels bad, man, as we take another glimpse on the top lane. You know, we're pushing forward.
He's going to kill him.
Wanda is going to look for that flash. Manages to get the taunt for a few seconds, down to 200 HP. That's a flash forward to the precision protocol. Bwipo manages to get the damage. Spirit's Refuge will buy so much time. Now, where is the hook shot? That's the passive that goes in. Wanda gets taken down. That was a game of inches, but Bwipo gets a solo kill.
Oh no, Wunder full committed for that fight. Jankos was close by, but Bwipo got the passive back up and takes that bat shield to turn the trade around in a lane that was going so poorly for him. He's able to get the first blood, and now Vamp Scepter should make it much easier.
Now, many may have wondered why Wanda committed the flash there. That was mainly to proc his Q, to have the sword come through as another fight kicks off bot lane.
There is indeed a lot of damage coming out. Hylissang a little bit on the retreat perk, still untouched, so is Reckless. Mickey down to 150 HP. The Exhaust was traded, as was the Ignite. Reckless backs away relatively unscathed. Advantage to Fnatic in that fight.
Wait a second, Wonder just ran bot lane. Wonder's not going top lane at all. They want to force this fight really badly.
All right, there's Mickey trying to play the bait game. Flash is available for Reckless and Hilly. No flash for Wonder. And he's going to be unable to impact this lane.
Yeah, so, I mean, Wonder runs down here because I believe the lane was pushing away from him in the top side of the map. Jankos was pathing down here, and he would have been super vulnerable after losing his flash in the last trade. So I like the idea there from Wonder. Of course, it doesn't pan out, but it will convert into that early dragon.
So you can see here, he uses his taunt initially, gets a pretty favorable trade, and then you're going to see again when, okay, so this is where we saw Whippo at the first. But notice here that Flash in from Wonder, he's trying to get the sword to come through so that he gets that bonus damage and the bonus attack speed, and he's thinking he can win the trade here, but now he's like, oh, okay, maybe this trade isn't going as well as I want. I didn't actually have the burst damage, and then the taunt finally comes back up, but so does the shield passive from Whippo.
Yeah, and his W was slightly late there too, didn't block out the true damage. Here we go.
Well, damage there on to Caps. He's dropped very low, 100 HP. Nemesis picks up the kill. Jankos is arriving in time, but he simply can't turn around. Thumbs up from the drive-by by Hilly. 700 goal up, 2 kills to 0, and they helping cast it out.
And this is exactly what you want to see from Hylissang on this Leona pick, is making moves and shutting down a lane that we were all expecting G2 to be playing around early on. Now Selfmade's up here to make sure that Whippo can pick up the CS, and the wave's going to actually be pushing out, so Wonder's in trouble.
Let's see what happens. Selfmade doesn't have access to the onslaught just yet. Hextech Ultimatum comes down. Level 5 there from Wonder. Devastating charge into a rampage. The taunt will buy some time. One more rampage under the tower. Now Selfmade will get taken down, and the kill credit secured by Wonder. Jankos unable to get in on the assist. It's a trade 1 for 1.
Hey, check this out though. Look at the collapse. Caps pushed down.
Pings are coming through though.
Has the blast cone. Whippo very low mana and no flash himself, but I don't know if they can get the minion wave here in time.
Well, let's see.
They might not need it.
Oh,
might not need it indeed. Whippo's going to turn backwards. Caps level 6 showstopper available. There's the passive from Camille. 2 chains from Caps. And just autoing from outside of the turret range. Kill is going to be available in just a moment. Showstopper comes down. Now Nemesis trying to turn it around. Shield comes up from Jankos, and the call is retreat. Jankos and Caps make their way out. They pick themselves up 1 kill, as Caps will dash over with the distort before he is taking too much damage to Nemesis.
I mean, what is happening to our top laners? We're almost 8 minutes into the game, and Whippo has 26 CS.
Yeah, it's not been great.
Can we see the gold quickly? I don't even care about Shen versus Camille. I care about those two players versus the rest of the game.
Wait, they're actually not even that far behind. Like, they are for solo laners, admittedly, when you compare that to the mid laners too. What's more interesting to me is the fact that Nemesis is 2 levels up on Caps.
Because he just got like 2 waves in the top lane.
Yes, he did. So he's just been benefiting from the fact that Whippo has been attacked in the top side of the map. He also had that early kill. This Kassadin is reaching already late game stages very quickly, and G2 need to find a way to stop it.
Fnatic and Casa win. It is a very, very old duo, but can Nemesis buck the trend? He's got 0 wins on the champion while playing on stage. Fnatic right now, they will start off the Rift Herald as something that's kind of been G2 dominated the last few games. While that's going on, Perks and Mickey will get themselves a number of plates in the bottom lane. You can see Reckless and Hilly moving in that middle lane. And the gold is dead even for now.
Yeah, so right now G2, with the map split up, they have the global advantage with Shen, so I want to see Jankos maybe try to threaten a dive towards the bottom lane, but at this point, with the amount of pressure Fnatic have put around mid, Caps can't get the same level of control in that lane, so he will not be able to assist in any sort of play down block.
Good trade there from Caps onto Nemesis, gets the chains as well. Continues trading with those autos, and those Rift Walks just not landing. Nemesis unable to get any follow-up damage, but just uncontested time in this bottom lane means Perks is able to build up a CS advantage, get, 3 or 4 plates already, and continue to hammer away on that tower.
So even though it was Fnatic that picked up the Rift Herald, it looks like G2's more than likely going to secure themselves the first tower of the game. Notice that the Camille is sitting in mid lane right now, not risking going bot because Nemesis has just reset. We'll pick up the Rod of Ages, so we'll start that stacking, and now we'll see whether Nemesis will rush for the Lich Bane, which sometimes Kassadins will do to give you a slightly stronger mid-game spike, but others will then go towards the Seraph's Embrace, so it's much more of the scaling build, but you then have like full late game. You hit level 16, you basically become unkillable.
Yeah, and with the amount of EXP he got early on, like that's going to be coming a little bit earlier than I think a lot of people would expect. We'll use the Herald up here just to cash in on a couple plates. Little important they do get that one over to Hylissang and the rest, but G2 still able to push down bot side, and maybe convert him more.
Well, I was wondering if Whippo was going to get jumped on. He was able to use that hook shot to put distance between Perks, Mickey, and himself. 36 CS for Whippo's Camille right now, down 30 to Wonder Shen. He does have 1 kill and 1 assist on the board. With the tower falling, G2 accelerate about 1,000 gold in the lead. They also got the first dragon, and it's 30 seconds until the next Infernal, so I want to see where Perks and Mickey will move next.
So I think that right now, Fnatic don't want to fight. So I think that, ooh, yeah, okay, we're kind of reaching
Well, Nemesis.
Flash away there, Hylissang trades his flash for Caps.
Yeah, so I was going to say, Fnatic probably don't want to force fights right now, but because Selfmade's so close to Trinity Force, Fnatic may actually just go straight for this. It looks like the Camille is actually freezing bot wave, which would be a little bit dangerous right now. Is he freezing it? I mean, it's a wave advantage.
He has the option to. He does want to start pushing out. Here we go, Mickey.
Solar Flare lands onto Mickey. Cosmic Radiance will come down and buy just enough time for support to come in from Jankos and from Wonder. Selfmade's forced to retreat for now as Hylissang is left for dead. That's a flash fall into Nemesis. He needs to get the Rifthook if he can. Rifthook's underneath the tower. The blow up from Jankos. That will even out the kills, and now Hilly is going to be able to escape. Whippo forced a flash from the Dazzle. And after Fnatic started that fight, G2 ended it.
As you rightly said, quick shot, it was Fnatic that tried to initiate that play. They tried to catch Mickey off guard, but a clutch ultimate comes through from him and it mitigates a lot of the burst that was trying to come out from Fnatic, and then Nemesis, he overextends, and now Caps is looking for the kill.
Is indeed. Nemesis, no ultimate available. Distortion damage doesn't come down, but with
Can't hit him because of the minions!
No, the minions are blocking so much. Self-made, the Spirit of Dread will not be enough. It is going to be a solo kill to Caps, but it looked a little fishy for a while.
Honestly, though, if Reckless reacted a little bit quicker and got the shield onto Selfmade, that was looking really rough. When he missed the second distortion, that was pretty brutal. Now, I think, Vettis, you're exactly onto it with Camille freezing the bot wave, because she's not going to be here right off the bat. The CC doesn't come through. Selfmade can't get the fear to apply before Mickey can drop down the ultimate.
And look at Nemesis here. So he uses his initial ultimate, right? And then at level 9, that cooldown is still 5 to 6 seconds, depending on how much CDR you have, which means that that's still a lot of time that G2 can use to re-engage onto him. So Nemesis feeling a little too confident that you still got to remember on the Kassadin, you don't have that much damage only at level 9, especially with this itemization, and he ends up getting punished. And if we have an opportunity, I'd love to have a look back at the XP graphs, because I want to see the difference between Caps and Nemesis again, because before it was really huge, but now you can see that XP gap has suddenly closed once again.
And even Jankos pretty high up there. The junglers, of course, outpacing the top laners with how crazy that was. Ooh, Reckless has to burn his cleanse in the mid lane. There wasn't even anyone behind Perks, but he didn't necessarily know that.
And of course, when you look at it, 4 kills to 3, nearly 2,000 gold in the lead for G2. 2-0 for Jankos' set. Perks 001 got that Blade of the Ring King completed, plus 20 CS over his opposite number. The same is true for Wonder over Whippo. And I'm following Hylissang. He's got his ultimate available, got that Zenith Blade primed and ready if they wanted to fancy a dive, but you don't really want to tower dive the Shen. Minion Wave is there, and while that's going on, there's a siege in the middle lane. It looks like G2 pushing forward just a little.
Keeping an eye on what options there are right now, because very few objectives. Plates are kind of the main key that both teams are looking for, but there aren't really that many plates to play for.
No.
It'll be a Trinity Force picked up by Selfmade that I think is a big purchase, because up into
does Hylissang get in trouble for this one? The chains are going to connect and he's able to walk away. That was a swag Hex Flash, if ever I have seen one.
A really nice route coming out from Reckless as well. Just great stuff from the Fnatic bot lane. Styling on G2 right there.
I've never seen a Hex Flash that was meant to send a message in all the years that I've been casting. Now, let's see what happens under the tower. Caps is trying to zone away Selfmade. 3 members of G2 pushing the tower. Stand United is available. The Showstopper comes down. Facebreaker, Haymaker is being thrown out there by Jankos. The Cosmic Raiders will buy so much time. And the Stand United will deliver Wonder to the mid lane.
The last 3 games in a row, we have seen this exact same play from G2 and Fnatic. Nemesis is top lane. You know what's going to happen. They've literally beaten it into you and killed you every single time. Just give up the tower.
Fnatic is just like, I will die for this mid lane tower. And G2's like, okay, we will take those kills. Thank you very much. There's just no need man. Just give it up. It's fine. You can afford to lose that tower. You're going to trade it in the top side of the map. Nemesis is going to get a bunch of free XP. And again, look, he's just clocked over to level 11. He's now working towards his next major item, which I think is going to be, yes, we're going to see the Seraph. So the problem is this will delay the casting power spike a little bit longer, but let's have a look at this. So Fnatic think that after Bwipo just used his E, same for Selfmade, that they can engage onto this. And I don't think Hylissang recognizes that, like, with the Taric ultimate, this dive becomes so easy for them to execute.
Yeah, because the Shen ult is what actually gives time for Jankos to survive until the Cosmic Radiance drops down.
And he has the shield from his W as well. It's just so many powerful diving tools. And, like, Fnatic, they... Trevor, do you remember during the regular season you started that trend with the why?
Yes.
So this is one of those games where Fnatic don't need to do anything. They scale really well. They have, like, much better late game than their opposition. They just need to sit back and relax. And I feel like that was a situation where they forced a fight that they just did not need.
So just to make sure I'm understanding it correctly, why are you defending the outer turret in the mid lane? Is that the best summary there?
You nailed it. You're like 2 minutes late, but yes.
Yeah, yes.
Perfect.
Correct.
You know, I'm not the fastest learner, right? Despite what
Neither
the
a
name
Fnatic, apparently.
implies. Look,
Maybe in game 5.
Fnatic are down nearly 3,000 gold. 2 dragons as well. It's 30 seconds until the next mountain, until the mountain drake spawns, correction. Nemesis, by the way, is pushing the bottom outer turret. That's going to be the Flash Zenith Blade. There wasn't an expectation from Selfmade that was going to connect, and the Spirit of Dreidel by some time. Here comes Nemesis. 50% of his mana pool available. That was the flash and the ultimate committed from Selfmade and Hilly 20 seconds before Dragon Fight.
So one of the important things to remember about Taric, hang on, Reckless might die.
Well, let's find out. Enchanted Crystal Arrows on cooldown perks, cannot fire that one out. Jankos continues to push forward. Showstopper's available to him. Hylissang is inside the pit, gets caught by the distortion, the ethereal chains, the dazzle, and that will be a dead Hylissang, secured by Caps. 3, 1, and 2, and the Drake now uncontested.
Well, G2 are able to find themselves another pick. They're going to get themselves the 3rd Drake of the game, and what kind of looked like a great start for Fnatic, with Nemesis getting that kill, with him picking up so much farm on the top side of the map. There's just been a lot of small mistakes from Fnatic that G2 have been picking over and over and over again, and now that's put them in such a commanding position.
But am I having deja vu? Because I'm almost positive Hylissang got picked right before the 3rd Drake last game too,
Yes.
and again, we are on Soul Point.
Now, unlike last time, we would appreciate if G2 did not decide to play a game of catch. They should not be throwing towards Fnatic as they did in the previous game. And we need to take a look at how these next few minutes play out. However, G2 have felt a lot more coordinated, clean, brutal this game and how they're approaching it.
I mean, what I am happy about is that I think that we're getting to see Fnatic definitely level up from what we saw from the regular season. That is a given, right? They're going toe-to-toe with G2. The problem is they are making these very small mistakes that are consistently getting punished and capitalized on by the side of G2. Now, again, I want to reinforce, their comp scales extremely well, and it only takes one big mistake from G2 for Fnatic to suddenly reclaim control over this game. Level 16 Kassadin is something that is as old as League of Legends itself, right? You can never disrespect it. It is a guaranteed late-game win condition, and Nemesis is only 4 levels away. The question is, what can G2 in those 4 levels?
Yeah, I mean, can Nemesis get there in time? Can he survive long enough? Is going to be a better question. Historically, the answer has been no. Nemesis is solo in the bottom lane. He will be taking this tower the 2nd of the game for Fnatic, but G2 are securing the 4th of the game, and with Rift Herald, there's huge.
I've seen this before! I've seen this before!
Okay, now G2, have you learned from your mistakes? I believe that you have.
Oh,
They're out! They're out! Ladies, gentlemen, fans at home, G2 have backed away. They're looking for Hylissang. He's going to get dropped down. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow snipes him underneath his own steps. Teleport comes out from Nemesis, and G2, they do not get the inhibitor. They get themselves their 8th kill, and they start to back away.
Yeah, that was really nice play there from G2, showing some caution around the inhibitor. They even held onto the teleport now for Wonder, and setting up, you know, with Baron coming onto the map, with Soul Point coming in 3 minutes. Just the amount of power that they have in their solo laners is going to be super meaningful when it comes to playing the side lane game, because we're almost 20 minutes in, and may I remind you, Bwipo still has yet to complete an item.
And
Wow, that's a good
unfortunately for Bwipo and the rest of Fnatic, it is feeling like this game was going to Game 5, the first of our summer playoffs. The first time that G2 and Fnatic have gone to Game 5 since summer last year, and a guaranteed spot in the finals is at stake here.
And if there is one way that Fnatic end it here, it will have to be Nemesis, because he is the one that's picking up all the side lane farm. Bwipo, no, he didn't take bot lane through that entire play while the inhibitor tower was going down. It was Nemesis continuing to farm, trying to reach that super spooky level 16.
Well, he's under pressure now, Caps. Jankos Wonder starting to push Nemesis. Fnatic have not taken G2 down in a best of 5 since spring split of 2018. There are years and years of stakes on the line as now all of a sudden Selfmade goes down, the man that was supposed to make them better. Nemesis forced to run for his life. Level 12 at the moment. Zenith Blade connects from Hylissang, but there's no follow-up. There's no damage trying to buy time. Hylissang gets blown up in the mid lane, and G2 are knocking on the doors of Game 5.
Another engage comes through from Fnatic that just leaves Ender and I scratching our heads. They tried to dive into this Ashe, and the first thing we said in draft was there is so much peel for this Ashe. Unless the entire Fnatic lineup is committing to this play, there's no way in which they're going to be able to make that work, and G2 picked themselves up 2 free kills.
And for fans that maybe are just joining us and haven't seen, this is the second game of the 4 that we've seen thus far, where Reckless at 20 minutes is 0-0-0. The team is not playing in a way to enable them or to facilitate one another, and they keep getting caught out.
The thing is, Fnatic have to play an in-and-out style of team fight. When it's just a Hecarim, it's all in. He cannot really get out of this type of fight. You have to wait out the Cosmic Radiance. That's where a Kassadin pick works, because after you bait that out, you can pop out and look for the re-engage a little bit later, but Fnatic are at such a deficit at this point into the game. Every single engage is a lost one, and they have to pick and choose their battles, because this wasn't even for an objective. They were going to lose that tower regardless. This next fight around a dragon, around the Baron, if they have to give it up, that's what will decide the game.
7,000 gold, 7 towers secured, 7 extra kills, and a Mountain Soul available in 30 seconds. Fnatic feeling the pressure, and they are setting up, but historically, they've been caught out. Selfmade goes in, there is some support coming, but Stand United is unavailable for now. The rest of Fnatic continue to chase. Perks is in trouble, goes low, does not go down.
There's no damage.
They can't kill him. There's not enough damage
comes Caps.
connecting. And now Caps is going to look to clean this one up. He goes unstoppable. Hilly drops as well, and Nemesis Rift walks to safety. Soul to G2.
That was a perfect example of how to peel for your AD carries. Solo queue players at home, I hope you watch that in detail, because that was exquisite from Mickey and Wonder. The utilization of the Spirit's Refuge, the stuns coming out. Remember the consistent heals that are going to come out from Mickey as he's just beating on these divers that are coming on top of him. Like, beautifully done to keep Perks alive, and then he dishes out the damage to win that fight for G2.
It is just ruthless too, because Fnatic tried,
and he steals a red buff.
Gotta be kidding me. That is... Reckless doesn't get it. He has no mana either. He has to go back to base. Sure, there's a ward on this objective, but the jungler is just now spawning, and this will certainly be going down here.
This game is bigger than just round 2 playoffs. Obviously looking at Worlds, obviously setting expectations. Caps is chasing.
A little miscommunication on that one.
Yeah.
Wonder thought he was committing.
G2 definitely wanted to hunt for that extra kill, and seeing some of the mechanical plays here, especially on the G2 side, starting to fill me a little bit more confidence. Decision making can be reviewed. Insta cleanse from Reckless as he starts to escape, but with Baron, with Mountain Soul, the Hex Flash will complete. I thought that Shadow Dash...
You can't keep getting away with it.
And now Hilly escapes with his life. 10k gold down, Caps is chasing, flash forward, finds the chains.
All right, that wasn't really necessary.
The swag on the fadeaway, knowing the electrocute proc was going to come down. How good is he?
Is very happy. Remember, this LeBlanc has been banned multiple games in a row. G2 Esports will even this series out in just a moment or two, as the final siege is going to be pushing into the base here. It is a gigantic lead. And Ender, at the end of the last game, you talked about how that throw could tilt teams. And while I agree with you fundamentally, G2 is not one of those traditional teams. If anything, The throw has energized them.
All right, so we'll get back to that point in a second because I really want to highlight what Mickey and Wonder do here. So the first thing is that Mickey is going to try and land the stun after the Ash Arrow connects, right? So Perks gets a nice big shield after his runes as well. The stun does land, good setup onto Whippo. But then just watch what Mickey and Wonder do, right? So at this point you're thinking, oh, Perks is definitely dead, good use of the cleanse, but then the Spirit's Refuge comes in to mitigate. Look at all the heals coming out from Mickey as well as he just keeps hitting all these melee champions. And on top of that, the stun connects as well. Just the combination of the two to keep Perks alive. That is how you peel for your AD carry, and that's also what makes this so difficult for Fnatic every time they try to dive onto the back line.
I do want to take, because this game obviously a blowout. Whippo tried so hard leading up to the fight. Like, the man did not have boots up until that point. He bought an Elixir of Wrath just to try and kill Perks, and he still could not do it. It is just a rough game to be a top laner for Fnatic.
It really, really is. And for Fnatic fans at home being so tantalizingly close to winning the series and taking G2 down, to have this type of game play out, it's heartbreaking. We need to see what happens as this final siege is now moving in. Baron is still on for another 50 seconds. Super minions in multiple lanes. The Wonder's going to dash forward, doesn't go for the flash taunt. And now the rest of G2 pushing into the base. Under the assumption that this game is over.
Whoa!
Hilly with the long range Zen did not anticipate that one. He gets shut down. Solar Flare did nothing. That is a gigantic taunt coming out from Wonder. The Cosmic Radiance buys time. 1, 2, 3 Fnatic members falling like flies as G2 will take down the Nexus, will take down Fnatic, and will bounce back from a monumental throw in Game 3 to force Game 5.
This is a G2 that means business.